Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Friday, February 7th, 2025. Now, as we predicted, the case that came here only on Monday, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni, and other associated cases, including in California and Texas, we've now put out the book. The book is called Hollywood Hearsay, and you can find it on Amazon, ebook, paperback, just out, audiobook, and basically it looks into the cases, obviously, but it also compares it as a matter of going forward to other defamation cases here in the SDNY that we've covered. For example, Sarah Palin versus the New York Times, which is coming back for a trial, believe it or not. There was a first trial, and then it was reversed on appeal. The other one is an ongoing one that hasn't yet reached a verdict, and we'll see. Devin Nunes versus NBC Universal / Rachel Maddow. We're covering that one as well. So these are how the defamation cases actually work out. I see a lot of... Anyway, you can find it. There it is. On another hype docket, Sean Combs, the civil case against him by McKinney, there's been a development where the Sean Combs lawyers has put in a new precedent, new decision by just another district judge, so it's not binding, Engelmeyer decision. The plaintiffs tried to get it stricken as being filed too late and without permission, but Judge Buchwald said no, she is going to allow it, citing to a rule of federal appellate procedure, which allows updates about new case law. So there's that. Today, actually at 10:45, there'll be yet another Sleaze case. The Sleaze brothers, the Alexander brothers, including Elon, Tal, they'll be in court today for the first time, all three brought in from the MDC. We might see their bus going by now. They're already inside the building, I'm sure. So we'll be doing that. Now, in a more serious, yesterday morning, we were moving a little bit earlier because we were participating in an International Monetary Fund press briefing, and we did get our questions in, including about crypto and El Salvador, where the IMF basically, as a condition of their program with the country, said you've got to ditch crypto as legal tender. And they did, but then they went ahead and bought Bitcoin. So we have their answer, and we put it up. Also in El Salvador, as it happens, in the SDNY yesterday, we covered the sentencing of a man from El Salvador, but actually a CUNY professor, Jorge or Georgie Ramos, paid coyotes to bring 3 young Salvadoran women up through Guatemala and Mexico in order to rape them at his house in the Bronx. He received a sentence of 97 months, which some have said is surprisingly low, given the actual horrendousness of the crime. But here's the most shocking thing. I found after the sentencing that his CJA, a defense attorney, put in the sentencing memo to try to say he's a good guy and you should give him a lesser sentence, that CUNY, the City University of New York, said that they would rehire him when he gets out of jail. Now, I don't know what the rules are about convicted, pled guilty sex trafficking felon. I don't know. Maybe it was a misstatement. I have no idea. A guy came into the courtroom saying he came down from Larchmont to speak for Georgie. He had a plastic bag and a turquoise COVID mask. So there was. Speaking of sleaze, the United Nations, their head investigator, Mr. Ben Swanson, retired yesterday, left. Actually, he tellingly said that he was, quote, taking an early bath, which seems to be a reference to UK rugby, where a guy left early after a serious foul. And the question becomes, what was Swanson's serious foul? He covered up the UNRWA participation of staff in October 7, but he also was caught on audio that Inner City Press exclusively published, showing the cover-up by Antonio Guterres. Well, that was his early fall. And we've asked the question, they haven't done it, and we're still banned from inside the UN, but we have applied, and we are waiting. Litmus test, 2025. We're going in. Alexander Brothers next, but check out Hollywood Hearsay. To be continued.